been meaning to do this for some time now. If y'all been on my channel for a while, you'll know that I've got the extended toolbox tour. That's like an hour and a half long, but I wanted to do a fast one for the guys that like fast tours. That don't have a lot of time to watch these tours. So I'm going to do a fast tour of my daily setup, and then that way you can see what I normally use on a normal daily basis for my weekend projects, for my customers, cars that roll into my garage, and my flips and stuff. So that way, this is my primary box that I work out of. I have an overflow box as well. But let's go ahead and dig on right into it. So, all right, so the box itself is a Husky 72-inch with a stainless top, one main big drawer here, and then it's I guess double bank or triple bank, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how that works. Y'all can help me out in there. So I went with Husky because it's really affordable, and I work in my own garage, so you know, I didn't want to invest a lot into the toolbox. I just want to invest into the tools. So there's that. All right, so up top here, I keep a bench vise. This is my daughter's old box. I got a new box for her over here that I just posted a video on. I keep a parts and bin organizer, parts that I just currently have working on over here. So I try to keep this space pretty empty, but normally fill it up with whatever I'm working on. Power tool setup over here. I like to set up with the batteries. This is just my wall setup and my main go-to tools. I run primarily Milwaukee, the M12 and the M18 platform. Up here, keep a Bauer speaker, all my chargers up here, my M12 batteries, and ratchets. So these are my main primary ratchets, 1/4 inch, 3/8 drive Milwaukee's. I've had them for probably 7-8 years now, and they're still kicking, so they're great. Primary impacts are the M18 mid torque, the 2 stubbies, 1/2 inch, 3/8, got a 1/4 inch hex drill, cutoff tool, heat gun. Still need to do a review on this one. This is the grease gun. Craftsman underhood light. This thing is fantastic. It's pretty much similar to the Mac one. These are the Braun whatever, floodlights or whatever. Main flashlights and lights. I like these Streamlight Stry-Ons. They're great. As far as for flashlights, I upgraded to the Milwaukee ones. These are the pivot head ones. These are fantastic, rechargeable as well. Folding lights, I did also acquire the Snap-on one. This one's been really good too. It's really lightweight and puts off a good amount of light. Got a Mac Tools one. Also have, these are the Pro Sticks. I have a bigger one. It's the battery wouldn't date on it, so I would not recommend these. Just for the money, you can probably get something better, and that's why I've always gone back to the Stry-Ons. Okay, let's get into the drawers. So we're gonna get you off the tripod and move along. So on the side here, keep a glove box holder. In the back here, this is a old jack handle that I made into a cheater bar. So, and I got the little decal on there that says cheater. And then a paper towel holder, little notepad, some extra magnet tray, jack stands. I got some out there on the garage. So, all right, starting on this side, this is kind of like automotive maintenance drawer, overflow stuff. Back here, I keep all my spark plug sockets. These are primarily gear wrench. I got some OEM tools, some other ones. These random ones are mainly for Fords, specifically the 5.3 Tritons. Tire gauge, more spark plug sockets, brake caliper tool, a Jayco tire pressure gauge, inspection mirror, cutoff wheel tool, terminal post wrench, battery terminal cleaner, battery post puller, lug nut cap puller for Volkswagens, another tire depth gauge, just some random stuff, tire cap, valve caps, earplugs, lighters, and part of the Volkswagen kit. Stud installer remover, stud installer, not remover. Control arm puller, so that way you can stick a pry bar in there and lower it down. O2 sensor thread chaser, ATF filler for Nissans, belt tool. Kept this bracket for timing belt tensioner so that way I can reset them. U-joint, what do they call it? Tack removers. So a lot of the forward U-joints where they're tacked in instead of having a C-clip in there. You take this, you impact it off, it cuts those tacks off, and then once you get another aftermarket U-joint, you can put some shims in there and install the C-clips in there. Craftsman V-Series ratchet that I cut off, I made a video on that so that way we can see the insides. There's the parts there remaining for it. Valve core tool, spark plug gap checker, tire pressure gauge, and then the valve core tool. Oil filter, pliers, wrenches, you name it. I think my favorite one so far over the years has been this Husky one. They don't carry that anymore, so if you find them on eBay, I do recommend those. Those are great. GM PF63 oil filter wrench, hubcap puller, valve stem puller, snap-on tire chuck, brake stuff, punches. So, you know, depth gauge for brake pads, hangers. I was actually at a tire shop not too long ago, and I saw them guys. They're selling brakes for people, and they were doing one, and they did not have these. These are so cheap. I keep a bunch of them, and hang the calipers. I don't know why they did that. Brake bleeder wrench, center punch. So, tube cutter, snap-on punch chisel set, massive snap-on punch. I saw that online, I just had to have it. Steel puller, a long snap-on cabinet screwdriver. Keep that just because sometimes it's easier to install springs with that. One thing that's supposed to be in this drawer is this serpentine belt tool. I have that out right now because I'm using it. But there's the sockets that go with it. So all brake stuff, I won't go through each one. This is a very good impact driver. I like this one. This one's from Capri Tools, but it's got the hand guard on there. And I think for the kit, it was only like 28 bucks at the time I bought it off of Amazon. So I know there's other rebrands of that. Mac has the same one, but it's just a red handle. So good option there. I didn't do a full screwdriver set, so I just did this bit set with the Mac handles, pocket screwdrivers and pocket pry bars, mini file set. I believe this is the Torx and screwdriver set. So different bits, different little mini screwdrivers. These I only have a number 2 and a flat blade there. A 1/4 inch drive with the flip sockets, so good for interior work. Handsaw, some more bits. Oops. Overflow of ratcheting reversible wrenches, feeler gauge set, box cutters, scissors, ear protection. This is my interior drawer, so basically stuff that I do the interior work with, so that way I don't bring grease and grime in there basically. And I like the fact that with Snap-on, you got the toggle trigger on the majority of their tools, so that helps out a lot, especially when you're in tight spaces. But I wanted something, I've been in the market, so I ended up getting this drawer. This is the I need help drawer. So 3/4 inch drive with the sockets. These are from Genius Tools, both metric and SAE. The extension bar kit. This one's by Mix Power, but great set. Mainly for stubborn bolts. Allen's. Impact extensions and adapters. These are the hex adapters. These are fantastic. Pliers and ratchets. So you all know what I mainly utilize. So I got 3/8, 1/4 inch, the spark plug, the service one, 1/2 inch drive, and all my pliers. These are snap ring pliers, overflow. I keep my other pliers over there. Hammer drawer, chisel set, file set. Overflow stuff, ATF adapters, nuts and bolts, front end service stuff, serpentine belt tool there, another clutch cutoff tool, my main wrench drawer. So I primarily use the Mac Precision Torx. These have been great. I don't go with anything else really. These are my old gear wrenches that I started off with. And they've lasted for years. I do like them because they are the long patterns, and I did a video on the tolerances of these, and these have been great compared to a lot of other brands. Ratcheting, flex head ratcheting, and then these are Tectons, bigger Tectons, and then the non-flex are Genius tools. So pry bars and picks, interior trim tools, radiator hose tools. So different stuff for different applications. Gasket scrapers. This one's fantastic. These are the just Mac versions, so they both work great. Electrical and DIAG drawer. So I'll keep all my pliers up front here. Terminal tools in here. I won't dig all that out. This drawer gets messy every time. Code readers, multimeters, inspection cameras, temp gun. So, and both the torches. These are great. I love these. Pretty much torque wrench. So I got kneeling pads, axle puller set, 1/4 inch drive, torque wrench. I believe this is a, let's see if I can remember. Oh, tie rod end remover. Couple hacksaws, my super long 24-inch snap-on. So this thing is when stubborn bolts, obviously. Torque wrench that I only use for tires. It's expensive torque wrench, but I had to have it. Didn't really care. This is their new handle. So there you go. All right, 3/8 strap torque wrench. Come on, take angle. So all of my take angles I just primarily use for engine work, and then the 1/2 inch drive. And then I keep all the batteries stored in there separately, because I know some of y'all will ask. All right, the money drawer. Okay, so I primarily run all impacts nowadays. I rarely go into chrome unless I just need it. I need the size, I need the clearance, and I need the thinness. But other than that, I run impact. So back here, 1/2 inch drive from deep, mid, shallow, and then stubbies. So Cobalt, I do Genius tools, and then Silver Eagles, and then Sunex for the stubbies. These are all off-brand swivels that I've been running, and these have been fantastic. They're by Mix Power. Have had no issues with those. And then lug nut sockets. These have been great. 4 driveline sockets, and then 3/8 here. Deeps is Matco ADVs. I think I only had one that I ended up replacing, which was I lost, and I got a DeWalt one for that one. That one's been fine over the years. Semi deeps are Gray Pneumatic. Shallows are Matco ADVs, and then stubbies again are the Sunex ones. And for the Sunex stubbies, I did just pick up this Blue Point 17 mil ratcheting flex head reversible wrench for them, and they work, they fit. So there's that. Same thing with the swivel sockets. The deeps running the Mix Power brand, and these have been great too. I did just pick up these not too long. These AKM magnetic 3/8 sockets not too long ago, and these are awesome. I do enjoy using these. And then just a couple of adapters, 1/4 inch flex heads, shallows and deeps. These are by Blackhawk. Over to the 1/4 inch side, Matco ADV for the shallow and deeps. And then these magnetic ones are by Sunex. And then I got some Gray Pneumatic 1/4 inch locking extensions. And then I got a spare gear wrench locking 1/2 inch drive. And then a long 3/8 extension for bell housing bolts. Primary extensions are here. So got some inverted E-Torques, stubby Allens. Yeah, I'm missing an extension there. And that's why I like keeping these trays. That way I can see what I'm missing or not missing. So there goes that. All right. These are Kesselman long Allens, and then these are Napa brand, not Carlisle, but just Napa brand flex wobbly Allens. Those are cool. More Ford driveline sockets, adapters here, same thing here. And then this was a recent pickup to do tensioner bolts on Hondas. These are the Craftsman V series Allens, the anti-slips. OEM tools, Torx, impact Torx. They don't look very good. They're very soft, and they actually end up breaking quite easily. Same thing with these Pittsburgh ones, Matco ADV. So I got these. These are the ADV Taiwan set, and this one is the Matco US set. All right, guys. Well, that was a quick tour. Hopefully, not too long for some of you guys. There's the money drawer again. So, if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. And then here's my cart that I daily out of. This is my main pliers and stuff. So, normally throw the sockets and adapters that I'm using over there, ratchets or whatever, but it's got all my stuff inside here mainly that I use. And then for my chromes, they live in this overflow box over here. And then these are my collector ratchets. I don't use these. These are the 100 series snap-ons, and then the black and red Matcos. So again, I got a few chromes out that I'm using, but again, this is for, you know, just tight areas. That's the only time I use them. And then the extractor sockets.